Alright, so I said I want to show the whole process about exactly everything that's going on. So it's going to be kind of a mix here because everything is going on at one time. You saw some air conditioning stuff earlier. Now we're going to look at the LS stuff. This is some of the LS stuff. 6.0 that's going together, and also my godson's 5.3 that's going together. This is the stuff we have pre-washed. You can see some of the pressure marks on it or whatnot. So it's not completely clean like I would want it. We're going to end up soaking it some more, coming back pressure washing it, cleaning up the pistons, the block. I'm going to be showing all that. At the same time, I am doing a small block Chevrolet swap. This is a LS car. I am turning it into a small block car simply because I just want to be different, because I clearly have plenty of LS's, but I don't want to do that. I just want to be different. So here we go. We have the badass 406. Had a lot of people capping, and I figured it was cap. Oh, 383, I want a 400, I want a 406. So I built it. Extremely nasty setup. Brodex X11 heads, matching intake. You couldn't ask for more of a super street small block than this. You couldn't. You couldn't get a better set of heads on it. You can't. So I put this together. Nobody wanted to spend the money on it. Great. I'm super excited about that. I'm not building anything that I wouldn't put in my own car. So this motor will be going into my car. I said I'm going to show the process of trying my hardest to do something every day. You know what? Not going to make any excuses. I'm going to do something every day on it, and I'm going to show it every day. That is the plan. Due diligence, man. It will pay off. So what we have here, put the water pump on one day. I put the thermostat housing on one day. I'm looking at these bolts, and they look like they're going to be too long. So this is my pulley system for right now. I'm probably going to get a little bit nicer one with the AC and power steering a little bit down the road. But just looking at this here, I think these bolts are going to be a little too long. So I'm going to look at that. I think they're going to end up going through and touching. We'll see. And so I might have to take care of that issue there, get some shorter bolts. That's the stuff that kind of takes a long time on putting a project together. You change pulley systems. If you buy, I guess, like complete like $3,000 pulley systems, they'll come with pretty much all the bolts and spaces that you need. But just like trying to do it kind of budget friendly right now, cheaping out. This is a pulley system I just had laying around. I have to come up with the bolts, and I see right now I don't have an alternator bracket. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my notebook, because that's what it takes to get these bolt sizes and not forget them. So I'm gonna get the bolt sizes that I need for the water pump. Also, the bottom pulley, I have to get those bolts. So then I had to get on eBay, and I had to try to find an alternator bracket. Okay, and then the sleeve is a sleeve that goes in between the alternator and also the head right here. So I'm gonna have to try to find that to start putting that in motion. I had to rob Peter to pay Paul. That's why the Loctite is here, which I stepped on it. I was getting ready to put the flex plate. It's not a flywheel. It's not, a stick shift. So I was getting ready to put those back in, and I realized, oh man, these bolts here are too long. They're actually for a one piece big block Chevrolet, which has a really thick crankshaft on it. So the bolts that I bought don't work. I had to get thinner bolts to be able to bolt that back up with Loctite. The transmission is already in the mix. This is so much overkill. It is ridiculous. It's just what I got right now. I thought about doing an overdrive deal, but quite frankly, I don't feel like spending the money right now. I got money going every which way, so you're gonna kind of see it go somewhat out of budget, just kind of using what I have. I also thought about using a stock 400 that I had, and I was just like, I kind of want to use something that I know is good. I don't know. You know what? That might be a good project. I've been saying I was gonna do transmissions. That might be a good project for to make me put the table up and go through it and do a cheap drill out shift kit on the 400. I might do a clutch upgrade and swap it to a manual to where I have to actually shift it myself. I might do that, man. I might actually do that and save that transmission there for a backup. An event or two is coming up. I might end up putting it in the other Camaro or either back in the Trans Am with the motor set up. Not 100% sure yet. Just back and forth. I got to put pen to paper. This stuff, I have to make all this stuff make sense. For this to be something that's gonna make, I don't know, like probably like 600 horsepower. It's gonna make like 600 horsepower, and then I might spray it with like 200. Maybe 250, something like that, real light, because it has a lot of compression in it to be a nitrous. I'm not calling it a nitrous motor, but to be spraying it to turn it into a nitrous motor. It has a lot of compression for that, for what I usually like to see. But in the grand scheme of things, you turn around and it's like, boom, we have an Ultra Bell, a 400 with a brake, a 36 element Sprag. So it's like, man, this is like a 3,000 horsepower setup, So it's kind of overkill to put, a 3,000 horsepower transmission behind, I don't know, a max effort 800 horsepower small block. At the same time, I could go build a 4L80E that's already broke down at a shop. I decided to build it, and I put $3,000 into it, and then I end up spending another $800 on a converter, and then I still have all this transmission just sitting here doing nothing. So this transmission, it does not fit in the new car with the bell housing. I have to run a stock or aftermarket stock style casing for the new Snowball Camaro. That's what that car takes, just because of the way it's built. I say I'm adjusted one day, I have not adjusted. So that's the situation that I have there. So I'm about to grab my notebook so I can put pen to paper. What I end up doing, I try to save money everywhere I can. I'm not here to cap about that. So those are my turbo setup headers for the 406. Don't think I'm doing a turbo setup right now. I think we're going to start off NA, but they're galvanized. The galvanized is not bad. It's supposed to hold up better than the mild steel. It's just something I want to try. I like to have experience in all of it. So I will take this old dirty bag and save money, okay? So like I will find, so this bolt here is too long. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put this in the bag. I put that bolt in the bag, and then I go make a note and say, hey, I need this bolt for the flex plate X, Y, and Z long. Okay, boom. So then I go find one for the water pump. I'll take a bolt out for the water pump. I'll put it in the bag. I'll make a note and say I need an X, Y, and Z long. The same thing on the crank. I'll go by, I'll make all those notes. First thing in the morning, I'll go to the bolt place and I'll get all my bolts. And then I'll be set for when I get back home. I can put all that stuff together. So it's gonna kind of feel like today, like I'm not really getting that much done, but in retrospect, it has to be done, and it will boost you so far ahead. Because without these bolts, you can't go any further. If I would have had my flex plate bolts, I would have probably put the motor in, this weekend. So that being said, I just thought about something else that I need. Okay, so I need transmission. I need transmission bolts. So that's something else I need to put down on my list. So when I go to the boat place, I can go ahead and get all that stuff, man. So take notes on that. It's part of putting a project together, especially starting from nothing, or you pull the motor out and you didn't really keep up with everything. It's like, I'm not going to say it's the best principles, but this is like kind of what works for me. As far as getting everything in line to actually get it in the vehicle. So also converter bolts, I'm going to look at that and just try to get all the bolts that I need, and maybe even possibly get the motor and transmission somewhere set up, bolted together, and start looking at trying to get it mounted into the car. So that's the game plan. 406 convertible Camaro going together. And like I said, my godson is putting together a budget 5.3 LS swap, 12-year-old doing an LS swap. So that is in the mix, man. Pay attention, stay tuned. I read all my comments. If it's certain stuff you got questions about, just drop the comments. Certain stuff you want to see, certain stuff you don't understand, just drop it in the comments, and I'll try to get it the next go round, man.